Hello, it's the 27th of August. I'm actually 26 weeks today. Apparently baby is the size of a melon. So we finished painting the blue ceiling in the nursery. So I wanted to turn this into like a sky ceiling. So last night I played around with some ideas on a canvas and I really like how they've turned out actually. They look really cute. So all I did was I just got a sponge, I soaked it in water and then dipped it in the white paint and then just kind of dabbed. Mama is on her way and we're gonna spend today doing that. I started to crash a little bit at the end yesterday. I keep getting a bit nausea again as well. I'm really hoping it's not coming back because my mum, she had morning sickness all the way up to 4 months and then 4 months to 6 months she had nothing. 6 months onwards it all came back. So I'm now 6 months. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case for me. I'm still eating though, but I just out of nowhere get a burst of like feeling like I need to be sick and then it just disappears. So touch wood. It's just a phase. That's a nice shape.
It's pretty awful colour.
I know it is.
It's like sickly.
I really hope it dries a different colour. Otherwise we'll be revisiting this idea. But it's not the swatch colour. Not at all. How can it be so different? They're supposed to be the same paint. 2 different colours.
I thought it looked dark when we opened it.
Oh, that's annoying. Some of our wallpaper samples have arrived for the nursery. Let's go see what they look like on the wall. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, that looks so cute. Do you know what? It actually kind of works with the green and the clouds actually look quite nice.
Yeah. It's great. Number 2.
Oh, even that's cute.
That is cute.
I think I prefer the other one by the way it melts into the clouds at the top.
Yeah. You're like this one 'cause it's jungly.
See, I love jungle, but I actually think the first one.
I prefer it. Let's go back to the first one. First one's called The Best Neighbours. Yeah, I think that's it for me. There's more going on as well.
Yeah.
It's more interesting.
Oh, that's so
There's a mouse on a
cute.
swing. I think that's the one. Out of those 3.
Yeah! I think I developed a bit of an allergy to the metal that my rings were made from on this hand. I've left my rings off for a few days and it is healing, but the ring I wear on this hand was my dad's ashes ring. And I decided when I took them off this finger to let it heal, I thought I'll put my dad's cremation ring onto my wedding ring finger because I didn't want to not wear it. I put it on maybe yesterday and today I noticed my finger was getting really sore and stingy. So I took it off and I took my wedding ring and my engagement ring off as well. And look at my fingers. So that pink mark is what's left over from my dad's cremation ring. There's no other mark on there from my wedding ring or my engagement ring. It's literally all from my dad's cremation ring, which is really sad because I really want to wear it. So that's going to be a bit gutting if I can't wear my dad's ashes during my pregnancy. I'm a bit sad about that. But I feel like my skin is getting really weird at the moment in general, like not just with allergies, but I'm getting loads of really dry skin. I keep getting really itchy patches. My melasma is still here. It kind of gets worse some days and then fades away on other days. I don't know why. So I'm 26 weeks and 4 days. A little belly update. Getting rounder, getting bulgier. Fashion sense has completely gone out the window at this point because I don't fit in anything. But one thing that I wanted to talk about is that sense of pressure that I've been getting, that really painful discomfort. I think it's actually Braxton Hicks. At first I just thought it was the baby moving and putting pressure in one place, but actually I googled Braxton Hicks the other day and everything it was describing was exactly what I was feeling, although I must admit it feels more painful than it describes. My belly goes rock hard and it's like a cramp, but not like a cramp. I can't explain it, but I think it's Braxton Hicks and I've been getting it more and more frequently. I don't know how frequent you're supposed to get them, but I've got a midwife appointment in 2 weeks, so I'm going to talk to her about it. I'm not overly worried, but it does get extremely uncomfortable to the point where it's really quite painful all along here. Hi. Hello, handsome husband.
I'm going to strip off now, so.
On that note, bye guys. I feel like I just can't get the colours right in this room. So we've tried loads of different samples. These are still wet, so they will dry lighter, but I don't know what colour to do with the green. I'm just not sold on the green. I keep changing my mind on it. I don't think it goes with the blue. But then I feel like white is too plain. I feel like we need a neutral colour in the middle. Oh God, I hate all of it. I don't want a nursery. So we couldn't decide on a nursery colour at all. So in the end, I've decided to take a picture of the room and run it through Photoshop. It's actually been very, very helpful, so I'm going to show you. So this is just like a rough idea of pictures that could go on the wall too. So that was white, which just looks too bland. That was like doing it all the same green, which looks nice, but I think it's just too much. Light blue looked nice because it went with the sky. Darker beige, all right. A light green looked quite pretty. Pink just didn't go. And then Mason had the idea, what if we brought the clouds from the ceiling down onto the wall? And I was like, is that going to be too much? But I did it, and actually it looks really cute. So I think that's what we're going to do. This will be paneling, and then we can accessorize it with pink and make it look a little bit more girly and less blue, because there's a lot of blue and a lot of green. And the wallpaper that'll be on this wall has got bits of pink, bits of lilac and things like that, so we can bring those colours in via accessories. I'm really glad I did it on Photoshop because it's really good to see a demonstration. So we're going to go and get the paint after my gig, because I'm gigging this afternoon. Yay, we decided. So it's the 2nd of September today, but I've actually just been to the doctor's about my piles, because the normal over-the-counter cream I had just wasn't doing anything. And I'm aware that the more pregnant I get, the more pressure my body's going to have on it and things might get worse. So I thought I'd go and ask if there's anything else I can take. So they gave me a steroid cream to try for 7 days and 2 boxes of laxatives. Fun. I never thought that was an issue, but I think they're like, the softer we get it, the more chance you've got of recovering. But on another note, since working my way down on the number of gigs that I've been doing, my pelvis pain is so much better. I do get a little bit of back pain now. That is, I think, because my bump is so big, I have to wear my guitar to the side as opposed to at the front, and so I'm playing really twisted, which isn't good, A, for singing, B, for posture in general, never mind in pregnancy, but I'm so ready now to just stop and wind down. I'm starting another job just through till October. It's just like a little part-time office job, so I think a couple of days a week. It's actually my old office job that I used to work at prior to becoming a musician, so I know them really well, they know me. And it'll be nice because I'll get a little bit more money coming through because the government pay is rubbish. In fact, I've got all my forms here that I need to send off for my maternity allowance. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about now is my pelvis pain at my gigs. If I'm stood up too long, my pelvis pain is there. If I'm sat down too long, pelvis pain is there. So I need to just kind of keep a little bit mobile somehow. I've also got loads more ulcers. I'm getting ulcers all the time. I have done for almost the entirety of this pregnancy, at least 1 a week. At the moment I've got 2. Last week I had 3. I had 1 at the back of my throat, I had 1 on each cheek. Now they're on my tongue. Must be an immune system thing. It's just annoying more than anything. Oh, and I found my first stretch marks, and they're not where I anticipated getting stretch marks. I've been trying to think of a polite way of saying this body part, and I don't think there is a non-horrible way of saying it, so forgive me, but my bum crack. I have developed stretch marks in my bum crack. Not quite sure how, because my bum hasn't changed. I mean, I've been measuring my hips, my waist, everything on a weekly basis. My hips really haven't changed size at all, so my bum is no different. And also, if I was to get stretch marks on my bum, I would imagine they would be on my bum cheeks, where surely things are expanding, not in the bum crack. I'm not really that fussed about them because no one's gonna look there. So if anything, it's quite a good place to get stretch marks. But yeah, just weird, so weird. Anyway, there's been far too much weird news about my bum in this update. It's the 4th of September today. I'm 27 weeks and 1 day. We're off to a lovely hotel for the night as a little baby moon treat for the 2 of us. So it's got a nice pool and we booked a nice meal. Although I'm not feeling very romantic. This morning I had to smother myself in Piles cream, take a laxative and rub cream on my stretch marks. So found some more stretch marks under my boobs here, but I don't really mind them because again, nobody's ever gonna see them. Last night I played my last open mic hosting gig and that was really lovely, and it feels a bit surreal actually to witness the winding down of my career. Scary. So it's the 5th of September. We're back now from our lovely overnight baby moon / early wedding anniversary trip. And I have absolutely crashed. I feel like I'm back to square one again in my pregnancy with all of my morning sickness and fatigue. We went down for breakfast this morning and I felt so sick. At one point the smell of the food, I retched in the middle of a very fancy restaurant. So Mason finished my breakfast for me. We got a little swim in before breakfast because I want to try and keep on top of being healthy and fit for baby, so I think I might have just overdone myself by doing a bit of exercise and then not eating. After that we went for a little walk around like an old ruins. We were only maybe there 15 minutes. I was a bit weak and my legs felt a bit jellyish and I didn't feel very well. So we called into a cafe and I got some Pepsi to try and give me some sugar. I feel like it helped a little bit. Then as soon as I got back in the car, the whole way home I was like... But I didn't really sleep all that well because I felt really sick last night too. I just hope that my morning sickness isn't coming back. Gonna go sleep now. Bye. These little bumps you can just see across the surface of my belly are what is going on 24 hours a day. She has like half an hour's sleep and then goes back to this. My belly is just constantly moving. And when I was feeling sick this morning, the feeling of this with sickness is not nice. It really makes you feel a lot more sick. I'm struggling tonight. I just feel really weak, really tired, really uncomfortable. I've been on all fours for like 2 hours. I'm getting a lot of belly pain whenever the baby moves, and she's moving all the time, non-stop. I was just laying in bed then, and it got so intense. At one point, it felt like she was coming out, like it was so low down, almost between my legs. And then I started to panic, but I was like, I'm not getting labour pain, I'm just in like extreme discomfort. I can't explain it. I'm gonna just try staying in the bathroom for a little bit in case I'm sick or need to go to the toilet. I feel like something needs to come out of me tonight and I'm not sure what it'll be or what end. Last night I was really struggling and it's still going through to this morning. She is kicking really insanely low, like tip of my vagina kind of low, and it's really intense and really strong. Mason said I was convulsing a lot last night. Like, I don't think I'm in labour, but it feels like I'm in labour because I could feel the baby literally like... It felt like she was coming out. I can't explain it in any other way other than like things parted when they shouldn't have been parting. And today I'm still getting this like, I feel like I need to put my leg up. This same feeling, but it's like not labour pain, and I'm like, am I just having a painless labour? Is it just baby's getting too big now and she's just lodged in a bit of an awkward position? But it's getting really uncomfortable. So I've messaged my friend and I just said, have you had any of this happen to you? Because she's obviously 10 weeks ahead of me, so she's gonna have her baby next week. She said, no, I've not had that. So I've messaged my cousin who has just had her second child and I just said, have you had anything like this? Oh, she has actually just replied, no. Okay, so I'm gonna call triage because they're getting really uncomfortable.
Do you know if baby's head down?
Yeah, she said she's been head down the past few times I've been.
Any lower back pain?
Nope.
Don't feel like you've got any tightness or pain elsewhere?
No, I get a lot of Braxton Hicks.
That can be normal, especially if you're doing a little bit too much sometimes as well.
Okay.
Any issues with urinary symptoms? Any increased trips to the toilet? Any stinging or burning?
The feeling of weeing is no different, but then I'm doing almost very little wees very frequently. As soon as I finish weeing, I then need another wee straight away.
Any loss from down below? Any increased discharge? Any mucus?
I've had really heavy discharge, but I've had that for a lot of the pregnancy anyway.
Okay, I think what the best thing to do is ring up your GP. I'd like you to get a urine sample and a swab done. Let's rule out the fact that you haven't got an infection. The fact that you're in no other pain, that's good. And the baby's moving, again, that's good. It sounds like baby's quite low down in your pelvis, hitting on all them nerves. Are you happy with that, Samantha?
I think so, yeah. Just, is there a way that I can like get her to move position so maybe she's not pressing as low, or?
You can try straddle in a chair or a bursting ball. Sometimes they move loads, sometimes they don't move at all, especially when they're head down, they generally stay there.
But thank you so much.
Alright, no problem at all.
Thank
Take care,
you,
lovely.
thanks, bye. It could very well be a urine infection because I've been weeing literally every 10 minutes. Let's see what the doctor says. I might as well do a belly shot whilst I'm here. This is 27.5 weeks now. Getting bigger. 7th of September today. I've had a tough couple of days. I don't know if it's baby, I don't know if it's tummy problems. I went for my doctor's appointment, did my urine sample with a suspected bladder infection. Urine sample came back totally fine and no infection. Baby continued kicking all day, really low, and it was really quite painful. By the time I got to evening, I was once again, like the night before, just getting so peed off. And it sounds awful because I know it's a real blessing that I can feel my baby moving so much, but she is so active, it's unbearable. I'm on my hands and knees, I'm on my birthing ball, every position you can think of. And then I've had a bit of an upset belly because of these laxatives that the doctor gave me, which I really don't feel like they were the right option because I've had bad diarrhea now for like 3 days, so I'm not taking them. They're causing me more grief than they're worth. They're giving me really bad bellyache. I think maybe baby is feeling a bit unsettled because my belly is unsettled, so I think she's moving a hell of a lot more than she normally is, and I keep feeling really, really sick. That's perhaps my nausea coming back, but I also get it when baby is kicking really strongly. It makes me feel like I'm about to vomit, and when she's kicking all the time, I feel like I'm about to vomit all the time. I woke up several times throughout the night last night. 5 o'clock I woke up and she was just moving so much, like literally felt like she was just doing somersaults all over my belly, and I lay there for like an hour just like, there's no way I can go back to sleep. And then I get so frustrated, I just end up crying. It's getting more and more unbearable, and it sounds really awful, and I feel like I'm filled with guilt for saying that I want it to stop, but it's making me feel so ill, so annoyed and in pain, so I don't know how I'm gonna get through 13 more weeks of it. I don't know. I just feel like I'm being a wuss, but then I message my friends and all of them are like, no, we've not had that. So I'm like, is it just that I've got a really active baby? Grin and bear it. Let's see how today goes. Hey, what is this? A foot? I feel it.
Wow. Is that a heel there? And that feels like her little toes might be up there.
So if that's her foot, then what's that? Maybe like a knee?
The foot's there. Her legs are only going to be like that long. Her head's there. Might be her arms up here.
Oh, hello, Ripple. Oh, hello. Oh.
Ooh. I just can't wait for it to be here now.
Oh, that's a funny one. What are you doing? Huh. Oh, so... She's moving inside. My belly button's gone in. This is all squidgy. Like there's nothing there. And then that's like hard. It's all on this side. I've just had my first day in my temporary office job, and I realise I've spent so much time whining about how hard it is gigging and having an active job whilst pregnant. But after today, I feel like an absolute hypocrite. I'm realising actually every job is hard when you're pregnant, because having a very, very active baby, when I'm sat at a desk not moving all day, that gives baby way more opportunity to be active. All day she's just done nothing but kick me, and I've got a bit of belly pain that I started to get this afternoon, and she's kicking me again, and it's not gone, and it just feels a bit more intense the longer it goes. So I've left early. I'm gonna work from home, and then at least I can kind of sit on my birthing ball and get a bit of movement in. It's very, very difficult because some movements will make me feel sick, they'll give me pain, they'll just be very uncomfortable, and I'm just gonna have to suck it up. But no, I have got belly pain, so I'm hoping it's just position of baby or something, not anything too serious, because just when I was walking to the car, then I got a very intense, like very low pain, actually, like even here in my crotch. At the moment my belly pain is like here. I'm just very tired. Bye. I've just got home from my office job. This is how active she's been all day. Non-stop. So it's the 13th of September. I'm 28 weeks and 3 days. I just had my midwife appointment and it was an eventful one. So I told her about the situation with the doctor prescribing me laxatives, which completely messed me up. I've now not been to the toilet for like 5 days. She was like, she shouldn't have prescribed you laxatives at all, but things will get back to normal. I mentioned I've been getting loads of Braxton Hicks. She didn't seem all that concerned about that, but then I mentioned about having the very low kicks, and the other day how I literally felt like I was about to give birth to my baby. At one point, like, I'd put my finger in to see if I could feel how low she was, and I could literally feel her moving against my finger, literally like this far in. So she was like, okay, that is very low. So she laid me down on the bed, and so she started feeling my belly, and she was like, okay, I can feel like limbs in the middle, and then she went right down on my pubic area, was pressing so hard, and then she kind of just like, she was like, she is exceptionally low. It's like she's engaged for labour, but she can't be. So then she kind of like stopped feeling for a while and was just trying to talk me through what she could feel. And then she went back again and she was like, what I was feeling before is no longer there, so she can't possibly be engaged. And I said she moves all the time, non-stop. And even as she's trying to feel the position of her, she was literally just, and she was like, well, yeah, she's obviously literally just moving like crazy, but she can get so low. And it's a bit like, wow. In my head, I felt really justified in that all of this discomfort and pain that I've been getting recently, I was like, it's real. It's not just me being a hypochondriac. She measured her, and the measurement that she got was very, very little. Now, we've been told all the way through that we're having a little baby from the scans, but this measurement put her in like the 3rd centile, which is enough to warrant a growth scan. But she said, don't worry, our measurements could be quite inaccurate because we're just measuring from the outside. She said the growth scan might find that your baby is in the 10th centile, at which point it's fine, but she did say that if our baby is still measuring below the 10th, the doctors may recommend that I don't have a home birth because smaller babies don't cope as well in labour. She said you can still do what you want to do, it'll just be a recommendation. If you want to have a home birth, you can have a home birth. And I would like still to have a home birth. I mean, I said to Mason just then, I was like, me and him aren't big people because I'm only 5 foot, so the odds of us having a little baby is pretty normal. She also mentioned she could see on my doctor's records when I went for my vaginal swab and urine sample recently. My urine sample came back, no bladder infection, but I got a message from the doctor saying, please book an appointment to discuss the results of your vaginal swab. My midwife said, I can access your records, I'll tell you what it says. They found high levels of thrush internally, so I don't have any symptoms of it. So she said to get a pessary. She said, I don't know why they've waited so long to tell you. They should have told you straight away so that you can start on the treatment rather than letting you wait for a week and letting it get worse. But it's not concerning. She also took blood. I've been poked so many times today. I had an RSV vaccination. So she's checking my platelets and my iron levels. But overall, I think she didn't seem concerned, so I'm trying not to let myself be concerned. So until we do the growth scan, I'm just gonna be like, it's fine. I asked her if, because she's so active, is that a sign that she might come early? Is it a sign that, you know, it could be affecting her growth, blah, 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 blah. She said, no. Active babies aren't proven to be anything other than active babies. She said there's nothing really you can do about it. She's still kicking now. But I'm glad I'm not going crazy about the pain and the pressure that I feel. Like, that has been sometimes unbearable. So I'm kind of glad that the midwife actually has pointed it out and gone like, wow. Hey. It's the 14th of September, it's the day after my midwife appointment. I don't know if the poking unsettled baby or triggered anything, but last night she was so low in my pelvis again. I was in real discomfort, and then whenever she kicked, it was like a real jerk. I was just like, I sat in the bath for a bit and that seemed to soothe her a little. But I was on my birthing ball all night, I was trying to rock. It's such a horrible feeling. I mean, she's been quite quiet today, so I'm wondering whether she's kind of tired herself out a little bit, but it's not even midday yet, so she has tendencies to be a bit quieter in the morning. Who knows what she'll be like this afternoon. I've not been waking up with my pelvis pain recently because I've been sleeping with the pillows between my legs, but I woke up this morning with pelvis pain again, and I think it's because of her position. It's nothing I can do. I just played my last gig. My last public gig. Anyway, I've got one more gig, but that's a private one. I don't know anyone, so it's not really going to be like a celebration. But this one, so many people came and I just felt filled with joy and love. But you know what? I am so glad that I made the decision to wrap up gigging when I did. The gig tonight put me in such an amazing mood and I got through it off of good vibes. But my pelvis pain, when I got in the car after my gig, I mean I got loads of help carrying all my gear out back to the car, which is great, but it hurt so much. And because of baby's position, she's still so low. There were a few points during my gig where I got real pain in the bottom of my belly and I was kind of like having to tense and like lift my leg up a bit. And now I can get away with it at my gigs because I move my legs quite a lot anyway, so it looks very normal when I just have to lift a leg up and kind of do this. But there were times when I was in quite a lot of discomfort, and also everything I talk about at this point onwards is just going to be gross stuff. But another point was my discharge. I thought my waters had broke at one point. I had like a moment of panic and then I kind of realised, okay, no, it's not my waters, it's just an unleashing of discharge. Luckily I had a pad on, so it was fine. But trying to play a gig and trying to look happy when you've got like crazy pain and then like a massive leakage, it's very startling to say the least. So I'm definitely at the point now where I don't want to be putting my body through that on a regular basis, and I feel like I had a really lovely send-off with that gig. That was a really lovely one to finish with, just in a lot of discomfort. So I'm gonna go and do some bouncing on my birthing ball. Good vibes. Remember the good vibes. Bye! I'm in so much pain. I've had 2 paracetamol. It's very, very painful when she moves. But she keeps going really low and it's the most painful it's been yet. It was making me like audibly yell. I was like, are these contractions? But then they weren't long enough to be contractions. But the pain is like, I'm gonna go to bed and hope that I can sleep it off. So last night I woke up several times throughout the night from her moving and the discomfort and pain that came with it. She's still very, very low, and whenever she moves, it hurts. So I'm constantly on my hands and knees at the moment. It's not quite as painful as it was last night. Last night I was literally like, ugh. This time I can at least just like, I was gonna call triage, but I've got my scan in the morning anyway, so I figured I'll just see how I get on today. Because we were wondering last night, Mason was like, are they contractions? How long are they lasting? And I was like, well, I feel like they could be because they're in the place where contractions would be, but they're not as long as contractions should be. They're literally as she's moving. So they're not contractions, I'm not in labour. It's just whatever position she's in is insanely painful. So it'll be interesting to see at the scan tomorrow what her position is then. She may very well move, and in typical fashion she probably will. She'll probably be somewhere up in my ribs tomorrow. I do keep feeling really sick though. Like I just get waves where I feel like I'm about to literally be sick. I don't know if that's baby moving again or hormones and morning sickness. I don't know anything anymore. We've just had our growth scan and it's all good news. Yay! When the midwife measured me, she measured me at 3rd centile, but the scan has just measured baby in the 66th centile, so that's a very, very big difference. So she is £2 13 ounces at the moment. Everything's looking good.
It's actually bigger than average now. She's a beefster.
Looks like her femur is still very little.
Oh yeah, femur's still
Her
in the
femur's
13th.
still, but that means that she's just diddy like me.
Got little legs.
She's just got little legs. They did say she was breech though, which would also make sense for how much pain and discomfort I'm getting, because I think baby is kicking way, way down.
Yeah, she's kicking like
Outwards.
down straight out, yeah.
But all good news, and that the fluid around the baby is all measuring okay as well.
She's happy and healthy and safe.
Yay.
All happy.
Even though I know she's breech now, I'm still ready for her to be out. The pressure she puts is so low. I'm so done with it. I find if I do this, if I scoop and pull her up, it goes away and I feel normal again. Obviously, her little bum is squishing right down into me and her little feet are going pew pew on my bladder and various other bits. I'm so done. I'm so done.